18th of April on Landcraigs Drive in Paisley. Police are appealing for anyone who heard or saw anything suspicious to get in touch with them on 101, quoting reference number 0461 of April the 18th. A 39-year-old man has been arrested in connection with an alleged sexual assault of a woman. She was attacked in Glasgow city centre in the early hours of Monday the 21st of April. The attack happened on the Lauriston area of the Gorbals at around 3 a.m. An area was sealed off between Bridge Street and the back of Glasgow Sheriff Court as specialist police probed the scene close to the city's Sheriff Court. John Swinney has warned Scots against being tempted by the simple solutions offered by parties such as Reform UK. He said he understood why many people in the country were disaffected after having gone through a tough time over a number of years. He said challenges facing the country's democratic systems were coming from a range of pressures that seek to undermine some of the central values of our society. Leaders from across the UK, including the Prime Minister and King Charles, have been paying tributes to Pope Francis, who died at the age of 88 on Easter Monday, the 21st of April. He was selected to serve as pontiff in 2013 and was the first to choose the name Francis. He influenced millions and met with many of the civil and political leaders of the UK. King Charles, who met with Pope Francis earlier this month, led the tribute from UK leaders, calling the Pope a faithful follower of Jesus Christ. And now for African news. There has been a shocking discovery of more than 10,000 people living illegally in the Sudbury Forest Reserve in Ghana, which has laid bare the cracks in Ghana's conservation systems and raised concerns about the country's security and surveillance capabilities. The lush expanse stretching from Tekradi through Wassa to Takwa is now ground zero for one of Ghana's most complex and dangerous illegal settlements. Residents were seen moving in furniture, refrigerators and construction materials, clear signs that the forest had become a permanent home for thousands. And that's the latest from Jambo Newsroom. I'm Andrew Baini.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage and Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
Need security? Call Alpha One Plus Limited, a strategic security resourcing platform that connects you with licensed security personnel. We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha One Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074 2526 7909 or send us an email on info@alphaoneplus.com.
You are listening to Jambo Radio Scotland. Online, on your smart speakers, and on DAB Digital Radio in Edinburgh and Glasgow. You can download the Jambo Radio app on Google Play and App Store. Now, it's time for our conversations with inspirational individuals in Scotland and beyond. This is a moment with Sade and Enoch.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Moments with Sade and Enoch. My name is Enoch and I've got Sade over there, the beautiful Sade, and we've got an amazing guest today, Gbemi, joining us all the way from, where did you join us from, Gbemi?
From Glasgow.
That was not what you told me, Gbemi. You're making me look bad. You told me you traveled 30 minutes to get here.
Yeah, from Bishopbriggs.
Bishopbriggs, that was what I was expecting. Come on, Toby. Come on, baby. You're like, play along.
All the way from Glasgow. For a moment there, I was wondering where we were. Where we are currently. Mm-hmm. This
is just 1 minute into the show and already messing it up. So, thank you for joining us today. And we will be speaking to Gbemi eventually. But before we go, on today's show, we'll be talking, the conversation will be geared around passion. How Gbemi's passion has fueled her desire and gotten her to where she is despite obstacles and all kinds of challenges that folks face when trying to go on a journey. I'm very familiar with this and Sade as well, because we've all been there. For those of us that are trying to achieve a specific goal, we do meet challenges. But before we jump into that, If you want to join us, we invite you to join us on the show today. You can call us on 0141 530 2787. You can send us a WhatsApp on 074 5990 6822. You can reach us on Facebook. We're on Jambo Radio Scotland. On Twitter, formerly X, or X, formerly Twitter, at Jambo Radio 1. On Instagram at jamboradio.scotland. And if all that is not enough, you can send us an email at info@jamboradio.co.uk.
Okay. And also, you can download the Jambo Radio app on your Android phone or App Store. Yeah, just use the App Store if you have an iPhone.
Absolutely. So, we're jumping into conversation with Gbemi.
The
amazing Gbemi. The amazing Gbemi. I think I'm just thinking, Gbemi. So I was trying to play back when we met. Was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
It was last year.
Last year.
For the first time, yeah.
Last year at the old awards
prior
build up.
To the award build up, yeah.
The announcement, the finalist announcement.
Yes.
Okay, and congratulations.
Oh, thanks for nominating.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, you're doing amazing work in the community, and then of course you've got a very thriving business, which is something. I was chatting to someone recently, and I said, again, around black businesses in Scotland, right? Yeah. I was like, we're still at the early stages.
No, it won't be. I give you before Christmas.
Yes.
We are going to be everywhere.
Amen. Amen. Listen, there'll be some preaching done here today as well.
For businesses that we're starting off currently in the health and social care sector. So I just want I want people to get on the ladder.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Gbemi. Okay, so I think this conversation will be going in a different direction today, and which I'm not even expecting, so that's fantastic. Okay. Before I get into that, so your name is Gbemi Shoneye.
Yes.
So I'm always interested in names and their meanings. Okay. So what does Gbemi mean? Where is it from? And what does Shoneye mean? What part of the world is it from?
So my name is Gbemi Sola Oluwa Gbemi Sola, meaning I'm not very good with Yoruba, just so you know.
Go for it.
I've been here since I was 14 years old. So I believe Gbemi Sola means carry me into wealth.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely manifesting that. You're definitely manifesting that.
Thank you.
Listen, be careful with what name you give your child, right? Like, she is living it.
Thank you.
I've never thought of it that way, because people usually just say Gbemi. So Gbemi Sola, it's saying God has brought me into wealth.
Or carried me into wealth. Yoruba is spot on. Okay, then. So you say Yoruba. What part of the world is Yoruba?
So my dad is Ijebu Igbo.
Okay.
And my mom is from Abeokuta.
Okay, so these are all places in Nigeria.
Yes.
What parts of Nigeria? Southwest, southeast, north? Okay.
I'll
help you. So that's southwestern Nigeria, essentially. So around Lagos.
Okay.
Around Lagos, right. Fantastic. And then Shoneye, what does Shoneye mean?
I honestly don't know.
It's a family name.
It's a family name, but it means something else before. Then they had to remove letter O from the beginning.
Oh,
so it's Shoneye, but I honestly don't know what it really means. But it's Shoneye.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's Oshoneye. So they had to remove the O before I was born. Then it's Shoneye.
So that should be Oshoneye.
Yes.
So it's
Shoneye.
Okay, interesting. I mean, we do that.
But it's Shoneye, it's not Oshoneye.
Remix things, Shoneye. We'll go with Shoneye. Shoneye. And in 30 seconds, do you want to describe Gbemi to us without telling us what you do for work or career or anything?
Okay.
Yep.
So
30 seconds counts down.
My name is Gbemi. I'm approachable. I'm a lovely person, I've been told. I'm a hard worker, just like any other Nigerians. I'm resilient. I love caring for people. I love helping people. And that's basically it. And just live the moment.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
Let me go next. I'm just very, very curious.
Yes.
So tell me, Gbemi, how did you get to start your business? So how did it all start?
So I, normally when you go to like an African shop, I have all these aunties that ask me. I used to work for the NHS then as a nurse. So they used to ask me like, "Oh, Sister Gbemi, please, can you help these people? They just came from Europe. Can you help them with jobs? They're finding it difficult to find a job." So I'm always with my daughter when I go to the shops. Okay. So one day she said to me, "Mom, everyone is always asking you like to help them find a job. You should start a business in recruitment." And she was only like 8. Well, I didn't think of starting a business back then. Then I just believe it was a call. It's not something that I've always wanted to do. It's just an idea that just came up. Of like, do you know what? let me start doing my research. I didn't know anyone who is in the sector, people of color who is in the sector, people who are in the sector, they weren't willing to help you.
And how far back was this?
This was during COVID.
2020-ish?
Yeah, but it was 2 years before COVID. People are always asking me like, Sister Gbemi, please, do you know anyone? Then I done a little bit of research. Then I realized that a lot of Nigerians relocating to Scotland from Italy, Ireland, because there were loads of them coming over before the COVID. And when they come to Scotland, it's really hard for them to start working in the health sector or working, even trying to get
even from Ireland.
Yeah, because when they come in, they need to like retrain. They have experience in care in Highland, but they can't get a reference. They need to get experience in the UK. It's all about having an experience in the UK. So during lockdown, I was just setting everything up. After lockdown,
and at this point, you're still working as a nurse?
I was actually on maternity leave when I was brainstorming. And after that, I resumed back to work. I was working as a band 7 for the NHS as an advanced nurse practitioner. And at the same time, I was trying to look for contract, because back then, during when the agency thing was booming, you used to normally just phone the care home. So when I started the agency, I thought I would just phone the care home and say, oh, we are an agency. So I tried that for a whole year. Business outgoings, you know what it's like. There was nothing coming in. So one day I called up a care home and they were like, you have been calling for the past 1 year. We don't chat directly with the supplier. You need to go through a third party. So done a little bit of research, found a company, registered with them. I was told it's going to take 8 weeks, but it ended up taking 6 weeks. So at the same time I was working as a band 7. Then one day I was like, I think it's time to pack up, because a year I've spent over £10,000. Business I was going, trying to get a contract. There was nothing coming in. Then I prayed to God. I'm a Christian, and I just said, just show me the way. Should I drop this business or should I just keep going? So went to bed and I woke up and I saw about 3 messages from the third party, the company that subcontracts with other care homes. And I received a message that I will be supplying HC1. Bolhousie Community Integrated Care, Northfield Health. Northfield Health is a private hospital. So I've been doing so for the past 2 years. So that's how I blew up. And students, international students, I started training them. And they started working for me. Then from there, they go on to work permanently in a care home. So we have a lot of testimonials on Facebook. I'm not that active on social media, but there are lots of testimonials on our Facebook page. And recently, a lady that I trained 2 years ago, sent me a message saying, if it wasn't for you, myself and my family, we won't have a sponsorship visa. I think something like that from a care home. I actually remember that I trained that 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, well done. How are you guys? Some of them, I still have their number. So when they message me, their name will still come up. So I have also started encouraging other people of color who wants to branch into the business, but they are scared to branch into the business. Because I remember when I first started, I was told, Gbemi, there is no way any company will give you a contract to supply them just because of my skin color and because of the way I speak. And you don't have a Scottish accent, so no one is gonna give you a contract. Well, here we are today. So some of those people are actually working for me right now. So, and I'm actually helping some of them to start up their business. So we do business startup for people who want to get into the health sector, like domiciliary care, health and social care agency. So I am doing about 4 businesses just now. And I guarantee you by December this year, Scotland is going to be packed with a lot of Nigerian directors on companies' eyes.
Fantastic. That's lovely. And your story shows great. People telling you don't go there, and you say no, I'm going anyway. And you're fortunate to have a bit of cash to back you for the first, the dry years of 10K. Nobody has that privilege, so it's good to have that blessing. So I'm trying to understand what the business started with. So it started by supplying carers to care homes,
and nurses,
and nurses as well. And then you also started training as well.
So I started the training because my number just blew up one night. everyone started calling me the students. So the reason why I started the agency is basically to train students and
To
people
become
that come
carers.
from Europe. Yes.
Right.
So train them. They do all the trainings. We
Okay.
put them in a care home.
Okay.
They work, and then they get feedback from the timesheet. Then they go and apply for job elsewhere. Then we reference them.
Right. Okay.
So a lot of
So
them
just
want
giving
to
them
get a
that
job to
door
settle.
in.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay,
Some of
okay.
us they stay with the agency and work, and some of them they just want a permanent post and they
Right.
just go. Because I do
Right.
temporary stuff and I
Right.
don't do permanent.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of them get job from the care home I send them to.
Yeah, because they've proved themselves. So,
Yeah.
what were some of the challenges you faced then in those early years? You've just brushed it over, like, yeah, they called me, they gave me the contract. It's been going for 2 years, but I'm sure you must have faced a lot of challenges.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Share
yes,
some
I
of
did.
them to us, because I think sometimes, and the reason why I want to pull that out
Yeah.
is for that person out there
Yeah.
that is facing a similar challenge
Yes.
to know there's light at the end of the tunnel. So I don't mind if you, I don't know if you mind sharing some.
Yeah, I believe challenges make life meaningful because, I always say to people, don't think, oh, I'm black. There is no way I'm going to do that. There is no way I'm going to. Believe me, I've sat in a room with the senior for the care inspectorate. I don't know if you're familiar with care inspectorate Scotland. They give
So
you
that's the-
registration.
they are the
body.
body.
They give you
Yeah.
registration
You need
for
to go and
your
get your
care home
blessing from
service.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they've been to my office. They've audited me, and we just say they treated me just like the way they would treat any other
person.
So when it comes to business, they don't see color. They see like, oh my God, she's hardworking, she's motivated, she knows what she's doing, and she's willing to achieve.
And I want to pull something out there, right? Because sometimes, and they could have picked something with your business, right?
Yes,
But
they
then
did.
They did. So the point is not because you're black.
No.
It's because there's something you
Health
could do
and
better.
safety.
Yeah.
For
Because I think that's
Right,
something
yeah.
a trap we fall into sometimes, where something happens and
People
like,
are
oh, it's
quick
because
to
I'm
just,
black.
yeah.
No,
Like, no, maybe
we
it's
need to
because
get
you're not
rid of
doing it
that
right.
mentality.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
to try and eliminate.
Yep.
Because
That
I'm
victim
black
mentality.
we need to stop that.
Yep.
So there was something I wasn't doing right with
Yep.
the agency. Then I had to get another manager because I was doing everything at this
Yep.
stage. So I had to get a manager to manage the nursing part of the agency, so I can concentrate with other part of the business and grow the business.
Okay.
So I came up with this idea. Okay, I don't want you to take my registration from me because of A, B, C, D. However, I've got this plan. They said they would bring someone in to help me, but I said no. I've got this lovely lady that's gonna
Help
that we're
you
gonna
with
work
that.
together and try and fix whatever the holes is in the company.
Yep.
And they were like, okay, that's fine. And that's it. Now I'm getting my third registration with them,
Wow.
hopefully before ending of this month.
Fantastic.
So when you said third registration, so what does that mean? I thought it was just you get a license number and how does it
No,
work?
when you want to start a nursing agency for just healthcare, for carers, you don't need registration to supply care homes. But if you want to start supplying nurses, you will need to have a registration with the care inspectorate.
Okay.
So they gave me my first registration. Then I decided to go into the health and social care sector for care at home service and housing support. So when I applied for the care at home service, I didn't think they were going to give me my registration just because of the loophole we had with the nursing agency because of paperwork. But they did. And I also applied for housing support because there is a market for the care home service and the housing support service. So I applied for the housing support service registration. That's a separate registration. And I called them in to say I've not been triage because they also normally triage the business before they can say, okay, we can give you and assess you for the registration. So I called the care inspector and they were like, no, baby, we know you.
don't need to, yeah.
We know
You're
you.
good
You
to
don't
go.
need to triage.
Yeah.
You're good to
build that
go.
credibility.
Yeah, exactly. So even a friend of mine was assessed recently. The care inspectors were at the house and they actually mentioned my name.
Like, why can't you be like Gbemi?
They were like, Baby was rubbish at first. but she's okay.
She got there
So
eventually.
my friend called me because I'm trying to help her grow her business as well at the same time because she's one of the Nigerians that is trying to get into the health and social care sector. And she was like, Gbemi, hey, you are popular, oh, my sister. They were talking about you. I was I just couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's good to hear.
So people are scared. You know, when you start a business, you have this chunk of direct debit that comes out of your account. So I always advise people, don't borrow money to start your business. Do pay as you go. Keep working, do it, stage by stage. You don't need to get that chunk of money and then, oh, this is what I want to do. Yeah, just do it slowly. A friend of mine was like, oh, baby, hey, these outgoings that is coming out, nothing is coming in. I just saying, don't worry. I promise you, in the next 3 months, that money that you make, that you have spent so far, you will make it within a week. So most agency invoice about, I would say, figures, 15,000. From 9,000, the least you can invoice in a week is £9,000. Up to 15, 25. Depends with how big you are. So I always say to anyone who is going into the healthcare sector, you will spend the money, but you will make your margin. You make it back.
That's
and don't think,
point.
I always say to my kids as well, don't think of your color. They don't see color, they see you. So if the care inspector they see color, they would have say, no, we don't want you to continue with the nursing agency because of it. They wouldn't have given me my second registration, and I'm getting the third
And some might even think, oh, maybe you're just a unicorn, but then you've just said you've got other people ever since you started that have also joined, that are black as well, and they're doing absolutely fine. So that's interesting.
There's a good point there as well, something you should be praised for, which is you started and then you're like, guys, it's Rosie here, come join me.
There is a big market.
We don't do that in the black community.
Oh, okay.
We don't do that a lot.
We don't do that a lot. We could do more compared to some other communities where they would naturally do that. They go there, they're like, oh yes, guys, okay, come, let's go. We don't normally do that. So why are you doing that?
Why are you different?
Why are you different?
I don't know. I think because I grew up in the UK, I'm not, I'm not blacklisting, who grew up in Nigeria. I'm proud to be a Nigerian. I always say that I'm from Nigeria, regardless if I'm a British national. I think it's just your mindset.
It's the mindset, I think.
I think it's the mindset.
Yeah.
Some people will have something, they don't want to share it.
Yeah.
See, before I started my care home service, I came across a gentleman who is massive in the business. He's Nigerian. And I took his number and I messaged him about 2 years ago, like, oh, how do I do this and that? And he was like, I'm on holiday. It's now 2 years. I've not received any message from him.
No response.
I was like, no response at all. Well, it's a big market. We're having companies from England. When I spoke with the care inspector a few weeks ago, they said they have received 500 applicants from England.
Wow.
The market is there in Scotland. It's
and
massive.
it keeps growing, right?
Yes, it's massive. We have all the Highlands, so it's growing. So I don't just supply in Scotland. I do supply in England as well. Okay. So we are branching to we are moving to the islands. Okay. So like Perth, Inverness.
Okay.
When
you say we, what's the name of your business? Just for our listeners to know.
So the name of my business is CNS Recruitment Limited.
C for Charlie, S for Sarah.
Yes.
Lovely.
Recruitment Limited. And I have the support service and it's called Support Care 24.
Okay.
Yeah. And just a little secret, I'm starting up a charity.
Okay.
It's called Assist Foundation.
Okay.
So it's basically assisting students, people with everyone really, not just African, people of color, like anybody.
Okay.
So we are just, early stage, so I don't want to give much.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, people can
whenever you're ready, we can always invite you back.
No worries.
Them is just turning out to be the perfect human being. You're doing this, you're helping people, and then on top of that, you're starting a charity to further help people. It's just
we just have to be careful who you are helping, because some people, I won't say the country where they come from, if you help them, they will just assume that is your duty to do so.
They feel entitled.
Exactly, they feel entitled. So you just need to be careful, basically. Yeah.
And the part you touched on quickly about not going to the bank to loan money, was it like a personal experience that you went through, or I feel like that's coming from somewhere.
No, it's not personally experience for myself. Do you know during COVID, during lockdown, a lot of businesses closed down. Okay. They were owing money because they took out a loan from the bank. Yeah. And then business folded up. So, and they are in massive debt. They've got loans, they've got credit cards. So that's, I done a lot of research prior to starting my business. Okay. So that's when I decided I will not take a loan or have a credit card.
So for sure that there's definitely a way they can survive, just like you've explained, without going to the bank. Yes. Because it's funny for me, because I would think for an entrepreneur starting up, especially the startup stage, it's a lot. Like you're thinking of so many things, resource, of course, money. You can't not. But
so when I do business startup for people, I will tell them, this is how much I'm going to charge you, but I don't want you to pay me now until we set up your business. When you start making money, then you can start paying me. That's
Okay.
it.
So when you say when they want to start up a business, I think you're a woman of many colors. I think you do a lot. I'm trying to even keep up. So I know you do the training bits for, is it precisely students or everyone you said? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then you're talking about helping people to start up.
Yeah,
so are you
business
like...
consultants?
A consultant.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have that.
yeah.
You wear so many...
I'm surprised you're here. Considering everything you do, I don't know how
I've missed this interview twice.
I don't know how we're able to get you here,
Yes,
considering
Thank
how
you.
super busy you are.
Thank
But well done for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
And then I guess, so for me, the next thing is, how do you manage everything? So you've mentioned maybe 3-4 businesses now. Maybe you've got some that are still sort of
In the
up and
pipeline,
coming.
yeah.
How do you manage it all?
I believe with God anything is possible.
Yes.
So I have a very good support system. So I have the manager that deals with the nurses. So I have my niece that works for me, that onboard all the new recruits. I sometimes do the interview, and I have another staff of mine called John. He's a lovely guy. I've known him for over 2 years. I actually trained his wife, then he joined the company. So he looks after all the IT, anything IT, and then interview staff. So he's on board. And I just do a few things. My ultimate job is to grow the business.
Okay.
So I have other people that do stuff for me. My husband chip in once in a while.
Okay.
My daughter, my son, they deal with the timesheets.
Oh,
they get that
okay.
prepared, yeah.
Wow,
So they
How
do
old are
all
they?
this. So my daughter is 15 and my son is 18. So they work for mommy as well.
Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
I wish they were here today.
Oh,
That's so good. That's wonderful.
I think my daughter is listening. So.
Okay. And what's her name?
Her name is Maya.
Hi, Maya. Well done. So she told you at the age of 8, you said,
Yeah,
that
when
she
she
could
was
start
8,
this
like,
business.
Mom, everyone is always asking you, fine, get them a job.
Oh,
I
that's
think
so
it's
good.
something that you should start doing.
And I guess that helps with getting some task done. But then at the same time, there's still burnout in business ownership, right? Because as you said, there's a lot of ideas you want to run.
Yes.
So how do you, again, I'm going back to that question, how do you find that balance to take time out from, right, I'm not touching this, I'm just going to take some time to recharge? It could be one day, it could be half a day, it could be 1 week. Weekends.
Okay.
So weekends you switch off.
I switch off, then I do travel. I go on a holiday.
Okay.
I just check up on everyone that works for me. Like, are you guys okay? What's happening? Check that. Make sure everything is okay. I'm switching off my phone now.
So you're able to switch off because you've put capable people.
Yes.
To
Those
stay
who I
on
know
top of
that
it.
they are capable of doing that.
And that helps you grow as well, right? Because
Yes.
then you've got time to go away and then, as you said,
Risk-
grow the
yeah,
business.
Yes.
You're not too
strategize,
involved
you
in
know.
the detail, which
Yeah.
again is one of the challenges we have in our community where
You're-
businesses don't grow.
Yeah.
People have the same business that are doing exactly the same thing 10 years
Yeah,
in,
because they are scared to get
to
an
give it away.
outsider.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna steal from them.
Yeah, to get help.
So I only have family that like, for example, if you are not family, you do some work for me, but there are some things that you can see and there are some things that you can't see. It's just I'm learning from my past mistakes.
Okay.
So like my family, my niece Onyekon, hello Onyekon, if you are listening, auntie love you so much. She's my rock.
Okay.
She's so good with what she's doing. I trained her. She came in last year January, and she's gonna take over the business soon. I want her to take over the agency while I move away from the agency part of things and run the care home service, and just I will still see the business as a whole.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting you say that though, because realistically, you can't only rely on family.
Yes.
At some point, you're gonna have to bring in outsiders.
Yeah, I do. I have outsiders as well. They
Okay,
have
I was just picking up on that because big businesses
Yes.
bringing outsiders. So at some point, we need to
Yes.
trust others to say,
Yes.
right, I'm trusting you with the finances.
Yes.
I'm trusting you with being able to sign.
Getting the right people.
Yes, I have an accountant.
Checks. Yep.
I have an
Yep.
accountant. I have the finance team.
Lovely.
I have payroll.
Okay.
And the team will grow bigger because once we commence the care at home service in July, I won't probably be doing what I'm doing now. I will probably be somewhere in Nigeria or something.
Fantastic.
That's what we like
Then
to
we
hear.
have a whole team.
Yep.
There will be someone that will be doing my work.
Yep.
And we have the care coordinators that will be working. I have one. Hi, Olawale.
Okay.
Thank you so much for what you're doing in Greenock. So he's my, recent supervisor that I nominated in Paisley. He's amazing. He's a hard worker. Fantastic. So the business is growing. I'm getting more people involved, but it's going to be bigger within the next few months. So
another quick one. I know Enoch is going to ask a question. Right. So just because I think this is not part of what we plan to ask, it just came to my head because you've talked about recruitment, and of course we do know that an important part of a thriving business is to resource correctly, because I'm in HR myself. So when you talk about resource and then getting people in, I think this is another big challenge for people starting up. When they get to the scale up stage, or even before the scale up stage, they're struggling with how to get the right people for the job, and they're also struggling with the fact that if they've hired the wrong people, how do they let them go? So can you just quickly touch on both? Because the second one, more importantly, some people are stuck with people that they feel they know already they're not the right fit for the business, but they're stuck literally. So I don't know if you've experienced that before in your business.
Why was this not highlighted?
You mean highlighted?
Hiring them.
No, that's the thing. At the point of hiring them, it seemed like they were the right fit for the job. But while in the job, you quickly realize, actually, you know what? I think it's not the best hire for what I was expecting. So basically, the expectations don't align while they're already in. So now, how do you do? How do you react to that? What do you do?
Do you know we are in the UK, and it's a country with law, employment law especially, and you don't want any of your employee to be, dragging you to court, because they're going to believe them over you, even though you are right. To the core people, they are right and you are wrong.
I get that.
So you just have a meeting with them, maybe a disciplinary meeting. Make sure you are not the only person in the office. You get another person in as an alibi. You take a note of what they've done. You speak with them. This is what you've done. How do we rectify this?
And is this something you've dealt with before?
Yes.
Okay.
But I can't mention names.
Yeah, sure.
The staff is no longer with myself. A few of them. There was an issue, a staff member that I've been going to see this client for the past 6-7 months. You know everything about this client, and something had happened and she didn't do what she was supposed to do. And I had to have a disciplinary meeting with her, and I just said to her, there is a possibility we might refer you to SSC. So SSC is a company that govern the carers in Scotland. So if you report them, then they won't be able to practice as a carer in the UK.
Right.
So me knowing that this lady, she wants to work in the health and social care sector, so that she can stay in the UK. And if I do that to her, then that would be the end of her in the UK. So I just said to her, you have a choice. It's either you leave, because I don't think I'll be able to give you shift anymore, or you stay, then we have to refer you to SSC. And I actually done a reference for her. She still thanked me until today and apologized for our
on that humbling note. If you're still here with us, you can still call us on 0141 530 2787, or send us a WhatsApp on 0745 990 6822. We are on Facebook, Jambo Radio Scotland, on X, Jambo Radio 1, on Instagram, jamboradio.scotland, and you can email us at info@jamboradio.co.
And do feel free to download the Jambo Radio app on your Android phone, or use the App Store if you're on iPhone. A quick one. I asked 2 questions, sorry, so you've answered the second bit. Thank you very much.
But there's more to it, but I will teach you
there's
later.
more to that?
No, I will teach you later. It's not something I can say on
offline.
the
Okay. Offline. All right, okay. Because honestly,
you have to switch off the mic.
Few of them.
We have to talk about
You asked me how do you get rid of them? I can't say that. Because of my profession, I have to uphold the reputation of
but
my
you're right. And that wasn't actually to set you up, because you've actually answered very well. It's about, sometimes you just have to do settlement. It's just like you talk about it, discuss it, and see the best way to go about like this is not working. But this is something
you train them. You bring them online train. Okay, this is what you're lacking. We'll train you again. Then if there is a reputation, then that's what we want to know. What's going on? Is everything okay at home? Do you need some time off work? You know, you just have to follow the books.
And this is even more specific to care. But my question wasn't necessarily specific to care and nurses. Even for like general business.
I have there's one of my staff that I fired
I've heard people say that sometimes, where especially when there's a bit of sentiment there, like family, or and you're like, you know what, I thought this person was going to be the right fit, but I'm here now 6 months in, and you know it's still not going anywhere. You know, what do I do? And they can't just have that conversation. And
you should be able to have that conversation with them, because it's your business.
It's
you want to thrive. You know, I know you don't work in the health and social care sector, but in healthcare, you are playing with people's lives, because you are working with people. And if anything happens to them, and you are working with people's personal the identification, passport, you know, all this personal information, and you don't want that to go out there. So if you have a staff member that is not performing their work within that, you know,
parameters,
you have to let them go, have to speak or else them go. You end up being fined by the government, you end up being fined by the workers,
and your license could be revoked.
Yes, absolutely. And I will tell you more later.
Okay, I can't wait to hear that. And the first bit is getting, for the most part, I believe you get it right, you know, most of the time. And what has helped you in that journey to like get the right talent or the right people that has the skills for what you need? Is it, I don't know about because I've never been in the healthcare sector. I don't know, maybe is there like a specific place where you find this talent pool, or
just advertise, you know. I just advertise on WhatsApp, and a lot of our Nigerians, we just grab that information and spread it. That is what I love about our, you know, our African brothers and sisters. So at times, if I'm looking for a staff in Manchester, I'm in Scotland, I don't know anybody in Manchester, I'll post it on WhatsApp status, and everyone just grab it. And I will end up getting like 10-50 messages from people.
Really?
Like, I'm actually 20 minutes away from that postcode, I can go. Then we do a recruitment process, interview. They don't call it PVG in England, they call it DBS.
Yes.
So we make
DBS,
so we make sure they have experience, we get their references, and then they go and do the work.
Wow. Okay, I need to start using my WhatsApp status. I've never posted on it before.
You've got a business WhatsApp status. So I have about 300 and something contacts on my phone. So I will just put it there. I don't check who is looking, and I will just get a message that, oh, I got your number from a group. Like sometimes I get phone calls from Nigeria, like, oh, someone posted your number in WhatsApp. I'm like, where are you calling from? I'm calling from Nigeria. I'm coming from Dubai. I'm calling from Kuwait. I'm like, okay,
calm down. Wow. And you must have learned a few lessons, a lot of lessons on the journey. How many years now?
I would say 2022, 3, 4, 5, 3 years now.
It's impressive what you've achieved in 3 years. You must have learned a lot of lessons, and I'm sure you share some of those lessons with the people you're helping start businesses, right?
Yes.
Do you want to share, for anyone looking to start a business or start something, right? Do you want to share 2 key lessons that you've learned on that journey as quickly as you can?
I would say communication. A lot of our African sisters and brothers that come from Nigeria, I think they lack communication.
So we're talking about advice for people wanting to start a business.
Yes, that's where it's going.
Okay.
Communication, because running a recruitment agency or working in the healthcare sector, you are more like a babysitter. You are babysitting these people. So you have to continue, you know, you have to communicate with them. One of my staff can be running late, like you miss your boss, the next boss is coming in an hour. They won't phone or message to say they're going to be running late. Then we get a phone call from the care home saying this is now 9 o'clock, the person is starting at 8. And I'm calling this staff and it's like, oh, the boss, I miss my boss, but you are supposed to.
They did not think.
So, yes, so it's just communication with this business. It's all about communication. And then just make sure you are within your limit, you know, just work within your limitation and don't break the law. You know, make sure your paperwork, you know, train the staff.
Don't try to.
It's all about paperwork. Don't try to cut corners. It's all about paperwork and communication. Don't open WhatsApp group with your staff. That's another thing. I've never done it. I know a few people who have done it, and I had to actually attend the disciplinary hearing with another company that I was helping. So they're having a WhatsApp group, and that was wrong. And lack of communication as well. I think that broke down between the staff. So I've advised her not to have a WhatsApp group with the staff. So don't have a WhatsApp group. work within your limitation and don't break the law. Like, do your paperwork, your PVG, your trainings, make sure everything is in place, else.
The way I always say it is run your business such that you can go to bed at night peacefully.
In peace, yeah.
Like, they wake you anytime. You're not worried about have they found that thing. Like, there's nothing to find because you've sort of covered all the bases.
Absolutely.
Right? And even if you don't know what the bases are, like when you started, you can look for someone or get a consultant to say, okay, I want to start this. Tell me everything I need, because someone was sharing a story with me that she's in cosmetics, and it's a very regulated area because it's something going on the skin. And then she was telling me that there was this person that wanted to start the business, and she just went out, put chemical together, started selling cosmetics without getting any license. And it was basically she wasn't being devious, she just didn't know she was supposed to get licenses. So again, it's about communication. It's okay, this area I'm going into, what are the regulations around it? Because with most things in the UK, there are regulations around it. There's a body, there's a regulator that needs to give a license, so that needs to say, yep, you're good to go.
Insurance,
so ensure you know what the regulations are for that business
and
before.
don't cut
and like Gbemi said, research. She said she did her research. She said it a couple of times there. So
then also the business startup, I don't just like start everything for them. I have business partners that I subcontract some of the jobs to. So such as website, such as website, accountant. If you need a tender writer, someone to write a tender for a contract, I've got someone who will do that. I just subcontract everything. But I'm the brain behind everything.
Well done.
I like that. Like the brain behind everything. Okay, so do you have a question? You look like you want to say something, no?
No, nothing for now.
Okay. So you touched on how you started, and of course the advice you gave about just staying away from loan, taking loans and all of that. Is there any way you can just see me as someone that is about to start business? And how did you, without, I know you can't give too much away, but to the best of your knowledge and to the best you can probably share on the radio show, how did you go about it, like thriving, like the steps you took, the decisions you made, and probably the mistakes you made along the way as well to get you to where you are today?
Okay, mistakes, that one is a red one. Red flag.
All right.
So when I started my business, I went to register with this company for a software. So the software, you basically put all the staff profiles, is for timesheet as well. So I was paying 300 and something pounds per month, and I don't have a contract, and I was using the software.
Wow, okay.
I don't even have a staff. So I don't even need staff. So I'm like, let me just get this, because I'm going to fund the care homes and they're going to give me contract, I was just, thinking
in anticipation of,
I was like, I think, so I was being, then I had to basically plead with the director, like, I don't have any staff, I don't want this. So they had to cancel the invoices, and they let me off.
Okay.
So always use paper timesheets.
Okay.
And get a high drive from a well-known security company to archive all your staff documentation, because that's like £7 something per month, rather than myself, getting software that costs 300 and something pounds per month.
So this is all about data security.
Yeah, data security.
Around that thing, around doing everything properly, because if you're dealing with people's data, then you've got to again report to the data office.
Data protection.
Yep, I know that. So, and how, when you started the business, then you said you got your first gig with Northfield, and then sort of grew from there. How did you grow it? How was it? Word of mouth? Was it again?
It was, I just want to say a massive thank you to, when I first started, when I got the contract, a massive thank you to a lady called Benedine. I can't mention her surname. So she came to register with myself as a nurse, and then she's well known, it's me, I'm just there, I don't know anybody. So she just advertised for me. That's why I believe we rise by lifting orders. So she brought me so many nurses, so many carers. She's well known I think she's well known within the international student community. So she gave my number to one person, and before I knew it, every week I was training about 13 to 15, people who wants to join the agency.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And how did you grow the business from the point of view of clients?
Yes.
How did you get new clients?
New client is from the same
lady
company. No.
Okay, from that company.
From the company. The lady brought me the staff.
Okay, and then they got,
then
got you.
Yeah, so then I would just email the company like, oh, can we please have another? Because I was having more staff, but less shift. So I realized that I had taken on so much staff, I don't have enough shift for them. Then I had to message the company to say, oh, can we please have another contract? Do you have any other contract in Scotland? And then they added it. Just one thing, the agency business is oversaturated now because a lot of people are now doing it. So is the health and social care sector, the housing support, care at home service, that is where the business is right now. So I won't advise anyone to start up an agency. You can start up an agency and then apply for your care inspectorate registration and then use that as an experience when you have to apply for a contract. But I won't advise anyone to go into the agency right now just because there is no market for it. It's oversaturated. There are loads of agencies from England that are now coming down to Scotland and it's just a mess. But with the care home service, housing support, that's just where we are going to advise someone to go for. I'm starting up a business for a gentleman, one of my clients. He wanted to do agency and I said to him, no. Right now, there is nothing in agency. So we are starting up the care home service for him and he's happy with that.
So care home service?
Care at home service.
Care at
That's
home
like
service.
domiciliary care.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one you said to?
Housing support.
Okay.
So the housing support is good in a way, like basically it's similar to care at home service.
Okay.
But with the housing support, you can probably just buy like a 5-bedroom house on auction, fix it up. So with the NHS, to keep a patient in that doesn't require medical intervention, it costs them 2,500 per night.
Wow.
So this is where I come in. I approach the NHS hospitals. Do you have any patient that needs to go home, but you don't have anywhere to put them? So they will stay in my property, in that property. They don't need any medical intervention. So they will stay in that property maybe for a week before their care at home service package restarted. Then they would then go. So that's where the business is.
That's
Housing
business
support and care home service. Because I'm charging them over £1,000 per week. They are spending 2,000, 3,000 pounds per night. A diabetic patient, you are looking at 4,000 pounds per night. And they are just sitting there. They are not. They just want to get them home, but there's nobody at home to look after them. Nobody to go in to go and check on them. So it's a thriving business, and I will honestly encourage anybody right now listening that want to go into the health and social care sector. This is the time before the people from England flood Scotland because they've destroyed the agency.
Fantastic. Yeah, and hopefully that's people are taking that seriously because ultimately people are always looking for business opportunities, and here we have an opportunity that works.
Yes,
that will always work
very
because
well.
The hospital,
NHS. Can I just interrupt you very quickly? So sorry, I know Enoch is gonna. It's just the business girl in me now thinking. Wait, okay. So with what you've said in terms of the property, do you have to have that nursing background or the background you have? Can someone like me own the property, for example?
Yes,
if I want to do a business and
if you want to start like a care home service, you will need a registered manager, and the registered manager needs to have a qualification. I can't say much on the, give much away. Yeah. If you don't have the registered manager, I will get one for you. Okay. That will be the registered manager for your care home service. You don't need to do anything. You will be known as the service provider.
Yep.
Right.
But the manager is the main contact.
Running.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with that? Just for anyone out there.
You don't need to. You can be an accountant or a banker, but you want to start a business in the domiciliary sector. Just give me a shout.
Yep.
I will get you your manager, accountant, name it. Come on, people, let's get this money.
Let's get. And
okay,
a lot of stuff in there, right? And one thing I would say is you've grown your business.
Yeah.
You've grown your business's reputation.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that reputation is your reputation, Gbemi.
Yeah.
Right? So again, for people going into business, because brand name is very important.
Yes.
Just as you said, your name was being mentioned somewhere.
Yeah.
So your name is really important.
Okay.
And your name is tied to your business.
Your name is your brand, really.
Your name is your brand, right? So what advice would you give to people around, how, so again, for someone going into business or for someone in business or just in life generally, what advice would you give to people around how they manage their personal brand, and then how that could potentially positively or negatively impact business, work, or whatever?
Just stay away from social media.
Okay.
I don't really.
I didn't see that coming. That's like
I'm very private, so I only have my family on my Instagram. I only have my, as a business owner, people will say stuff about you, and you just turn a blind ear to it because it's not true. So just don't say, "Oh, I heard you are talking about me." No, just focus on your business. Just keep your private life private.
Yep.
Keep your business business.
Yep.
I do, my staff, I treat them with respect. I chat with them once in a while, but you have to have that
boundaries.
Yep. So that respect is there and the work. What else was I gonna say? Don't talk too much. Don't tell people your plan. Or once you've established it, then you can then say, "Oh, by the way, this is what I'm doing. Do you know anyone who can help?" Yeah, that's
just
another thing.
Keep some things.
Keep everything to yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what are the next big plans for Gbemi? I feel like there's still a lot to come.
Yes.
And you just said don't share your plan with someone. And
no,
I am asking you.
It's done already. So I can talk about it.
I was gonna say that I think she's at a place where it's like sorted
It's
already.
out there,
And
yeah.
now she's just
it's
saying
done
that.
already, so there's no need. So I've done my research and everything. So like care homes. Some people when they say care home, they are like, "Oh my God, if I'm to buy a care home, I need a lot of money for deposit to purchase a care home." So you don't really need. You need to have the backgrounds, like you have money, but you don't need to use your money or even take money from the bank if you want to purchase a care home. You can purchase the care home and get the care home to pay for itself. I won't say much. So I'm just going to end it there.
All right then.
So we're branching home care, housing support, care home, and then properties. So it's all done. That's what I'm talking about it. But otherwise, if you've got something in line that you want to do, just keep that to yourself, get it done, and pray over it. Then once it's done and dusted, you can then say, "Oh, I'm doing this, by the way. Would you like to help me?"
Okay, a very quick one. So I wrote this down, and I'm just gonna read it out. So now that you've gained traction with your business, what does success look like for you today? Has your definition of success changed over the years?
No.
Okay.
To me, I still don't think I am where I should be. I still want to aim higher.
Wow.
Although people know me like, "Oh, CNS, oh, you're working for CNS, oh, that's Sister Gbemi." See, they call me CEO apparently. People come to me and say, I met one of your staff. They call me Madam CEO. I'm like, "Oh, me?" And a lot of, being Nigerian, we are very respectful. So I have all these older ladies that come and be kneeling down like, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh, please don't." Yeah. So I still feel as if I'm not where I should be, but I thank God for where I am right now. When you are thriving, my business is growing, don't stop there. You have to keep aiming higher. Keep aiming higher.
Yes, what you're saying is keep grinding for tomorrow.
Yes.
But then also enjoy today, which I think you're doing, because you go on holidays, you take the weekend off and all that. Because
I travel a lot.
Yeah, what you see with some people is they're grinding for tomorrow, but they're not enjoying today. Right.
And the other thing I wanted to say is when you advising people who are starting up a business, don't go into a business. Part of it is for the money, to make money. Don't just go in, "Okay, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to make money." You have to think about your staff, their well-being, their health. Once in a while I message my staff, "Are you okay? How is your leg? Oh, how is your headache?" Some of them will say they can't go to work because they're having back pain. I'll check up on them. "Are you okay?" You don't want to say, "Oh, it's money, money, money." If you go into a business because of the money, believe me, you won't go far. Yeah. So there are some times whereby I've used my money to pay my staff because clients are holding back money. They've not paid me on time, whereby I have to use, tens of thousands of pounds to pay my staff for 2 months, then wait for my own invoice to be paid. So you have to, don't go into a business and be greedy. If you're greedy, the business will not thrive. That's it.
Fantastic. So, one for you. Is there any question you have for us?
how do you guys do it? You guys are like everywhere.
No, you're stealing my question. That was my question for you.
I was expecting though. Yeah.
I didn't know about. I told you I don't really go on social media much. Yeah. I don't remember how I came across Black Scottish. Oh, right. So I was on Instagram. Okay. Then I came across the page a long time ago. Then I was looking at the page and I was like, I think maybe that's when you guys first started. Okay. So I was looking at the page and I was like, how come all the people, I was not aware that you guys were just starting out. Okay. How come all the nominees are social media?
Oh, is it? Okay.
No, that's not us.
That's not you guys. Oh, that's someone else.
Sorry.
Oh,
I take offense to that.
Apologies. I'm so sorry.
The different sectors.
Okay, that's a
different award organization.
Okay, so I thought that was you guys. So I was like, oh, why are they nominated? Because I don't want my children to be looking up to someone who's doing makeup, and there's nothing wrong with being a makeup artist.
But at least have other categories as well.
So then I went on. I was told to go on LinkedIn. So when I went on LinkedIn, that's when I started following Black. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Now you're talking. That was what I was expecting.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I was like, wow.
There's several categories.
That's when I realized there are actually other people, Africans in Scotland, doing this.
Because we even have sports.
Sports
so many categories, even like outside of finance and all.
It's amazing. So I met a lot of people at the award show. Thanks for having me. It was really nice.
Oh, lovely. So how do we do it? Do you want to go first, Enoch, or should I?
No, you go.
For me, no, it's going to be a very simple answer. For me, I think it's just about people getting themselves together. That's it. For the most part, you'll be very surprised. It's more about getting organized and being intentional. Yeah. You can't do life just waking up and seeing what the day has for you. You need to wake up knowing what you have for that day.
Absolutely.
I think that's it, bottom line, because I'm into fashion. I'm doing HR. I'm the head of people in a tech company. Yes, we do the radio show. A lot of things. Our brands, right? But at the same time, I've got kids. So I think it's just about organizing yourself and planning yourself. Before I came here, I've done my fashion shoots for this look. Because I've planned to do it just maybe 5 minutes while I'm walking to the studio to get it done. If I post that, people go like, oh, you're posting this. When did you get dressed for this? It's all like one stone doesn't kill two birds for me. It kills like 50 birds for me. So that's just
part of the skills.
Just planning. Planning.
These are the skills you need to have, when you want to start a business. You need to be able to be, you need to be organized. I won't say I'm perfect, to be honest. Sometimes I'm forgetful. Sometimes, I'm too busy to do some other work and I forget. But it's all about managing your time. I have a diary. Sometimes I send message to myself just so that I can.
I do that.
I do that too. He does that as well.
And because we're coming to the end of the show,
you haven't said yours very quickly in 3 seconds, maybe.
I don't have an answer. I think I'm just Enoch.
What does that even mean? Who cares? I care. But anyway, okay.
I would love to attend the long common thing that you guys do. Yeah, I'm trying to drag my husband.
We'll talk about that.
He's saying
no.
We'll
talk about that. Definitely, you guys will enjoy it. And you know what? Most people that say no at the beginning, when they come, they're like, when is the next one? Because it's fun. Right? But we can talk about that later. Just because we're running out of time.
I can see.
So another tradition we have is we get our guests to leave the next guest an advice. The last guest, and they don't know who the next guest is. So the last guest, the advice they left was just keep the show on the road. Just keep going, keep moving. And I think that applies to you. Just keep driving forward. Yeah. What advice do you have for our next guest?
Just keep going, keep driving. Don't give up.
Okay.
Even though you think it's the end of the road, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You're going to meet on the street. So just keep going. My motto, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Regardless.
And I think that sort of encapsulates the story you've shared with us today around. You could have easily given up in that first year of, you've
bumped. I've even given up most recently. Something had happened, but I don't want to share.
Let's not go into that. Okay, we'll go into that offline. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just have that mentality of, like, there will be quirks on the road. And then as long as you go a very strong network around you as well, support network.
To be honest with you, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
You will face challenges, but I believe challenges make life meaningful. painful. You learn from it.
Fantastic. So just keep going is the advice from Gbemi. Thank you very much, Gbemi, for joining us. Thank you, Sade.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We appreciate you coming all the way.
Bishop Briggs.
From Bishop Briggs. It's been myself, Enoch. It's been Sade, and Gbemi has joined us today for what has been an enlightening show. Until next time, see you again.
See you next time.
Bye. Thanks
Bye.
for listening.